Are you just saying more work for Chris, Ian?
Do you
Chris,
want to
You're...
edit this out later?
Granted, a lot of these
Chris.
are low effort, so like it's actually kind of fine most of the time.
Okay.
Mhm.
A lot of it's just
Well,
waiting.
I was just gonna yeah, go ahead and throw it on. I was gonna say like some lore
Oh, we're
I just
recording.
learned about it. Oh, awesome. Hey, yeah.
Cool. Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
y'all ready for what we got out of Fast and Furious 6, y'all?
6.
Because I'm on
Yeah.
Yeah,
fire.
it was
Um,
good. It was a
it
good
was really
movie.
good. I enjoyed myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I mean, well, did you guys not have a good time? I feel like this has been one of the most fun ones. Like this
Real.
is, yeah, this
Um,
was okay. I get
I
it.
enjoyed. No, I enjoyed it. I think I liked the last one a little bit more.
Oh, okay, okay.
Although
I think
the
it's
action sequences are kind of nuts in this one.
yeah,
There's a specific reason too. We'll
Yes,
get into, but
yeah, a
yes.
forehead reason.
you know.
When
Well,
we,
also we were watching it with a group, and they are not into these fucking movies like at all.
Yeah.
So it is all just it's automatically shit. So we're going with that
right, right.
type deal. So I kind of
I'm
had to
Well,
like, sorry, Nick, what was that? You're gonna.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So no, it's just kind of like, all right, watching, just try to pick out my
well,
own thoughts, you know.
we'll talk about the end near the end, but how did they respond to the end part? Like the last even 20 minutes of this movie is just go 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 crazy 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 crazy.
There's some legit great like action moments.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're super fun.
Yeah.
So there were things I thought they liked. I think overall, no, they weren't.
Okay.
They were not.
Okay.
To it.
All
I
right.
don't blame
All
them or
right.
anything. That's just it's their taste and everything.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and
listen.
apparently,
I don't know how much I would have
Nick, if you
loved
got
this
something to
movie.
say it with your chest. I hear a lot of like mumbling over there under your breath.
I I don't know how much I would have loved the movie if I hadn't seen 5 of these already, but
Oh
I
yeah, if
have.
I had seen this out of context, which is I think what most of them were.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Wow, are they gonna kill Dom? This is crazy. Yeah, you have the tension of Fast Six. Oh, sorry, Fast and Furious 6, or as it's called in Japan,
Ooh,
Wild Speed Euro Mission.
hell yeah.
Uh,
I
yeah,
mean
Oh,
that
the
is what
Japanese titles are so good.
there's the excellent,
Yeah.
excellent titles. Um, I wanted to come back to the character of just mention something, and this was the thing that maybe we'll keep, maybe we won't keep,
Yeah.
but the character in our franchise that were introduced in Fast 3 played by Sung Kang, Hong Lu,
Yeah.
who is paired off with Gal Gadot in this flick.
Hmm.
Mhm.
He existed as a fictional character before Fast and Furious. I did not know this. I just learned this today.
Oh, is that
Uh,
true? I didn't know.
so I'm gonna give you a quick little thing, and I don't know if that's gonna make the Furious watching longer, but the year before Fast and Furious 5 came out,
Mm.
um, an independent Asian American film was produced called Better Luck Tomorrow that stars Hong Lu. It also has John Chow as the villain in it. Um, and I mention it because that we've talked about how Fast and Furious like tonally is all over the place. Like the early ones are crime movies,
Yeah.
and then we get into this, and we'll get into the cartoonishness of Fast 6, but um, Better Luck Tomorrow is somewhat loosely based on the murder of Stuart Tay, an Orange County student who was going to rob a university with other students, and then they thought he was going to rat them out, so they killed him. And that is the premise of Better Luck Tomorrow, more or less.
Okay.
A group of students are going to do some crimes, and then they kill one of their friends to
Mm.
plug the leak, basically.
Yeah.
It is a movie produced by MC Hammer, who
Hell
gave
yeah.
them $100 million to work through the Japanese American National Foundation Museum. Yeah, so maybe we'll end up having to watch that movie, but that is technically the origin of the character.
We
Uh,
might, because I'm looking at this.
yeah.
It is written and directed by one Justin Lin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you like
Mm.
that.
Well, Nick, we should all like Justin Lin because
Because
he
he made this one.
directed the last four the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the good
Yeah,
ones.
the good ones. Agreed.
Except for
Agreed.
number one. Number one's like legit great movie.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, okay. We're gonna have to. It has good ratings too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to check this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Cho's in it. Holy shit.
Yeah. John Cho plays the rich kid that suggests we rob Daddy's house. So,
Oh,
guys,
nice.
this has got a lot of stuff in it. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Uh,
add it to the list. Little bonus viewing.
yeah.
You know what? That's good because a little peek behind the curtain here. I don't think we have anything really set in stone for the end of this month. We haven't like concretely designed.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so Ian, would you like to take it
Yes.
away with Fast Six?
Sure. Fast Six starts us off with an amazing recap where it's just like a montage of here's some cool stuff that's happened in the last 5 movies.
Yeah. Yeah, all of
Uh,
them. Yeah, it's crazy.
uh, so we're following up on the Brazil heist. Dom Toretto, Brian O'Connor, they're all in the Canary Islands, I believe, just off the coast of Africa. They're in like a Spanish little colony. It's a
Oh.
lovely little resort island place. Um, and then we immediately go from them living like the luxurious life. All of them are millionaires, billionaires, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're living, on a private jet. Roman Pierce has a plane that says it's Roman bitches.
Throwing
Uh,
bitches.
if you
Oh yeah.
that was yeah,
It's great.
it's great. It's great stuff.
He should have
And
called it Roman Airlines
I
or
agree.
Roman the Skies.
The Roman Nomen.
Yeah,
Uh,
Roman skies. Um,
um,
yeah, no, it's Roman bitches is good though.
Roman bitches is strong. Oh, and then we have Giselle and Hanlu, and they've
Mm-hmm.
gone back to Tokyo, and they're
Wow, you
kind of.
remember Gal Gadot's name, dude? I don't. I just keep calling her Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
I genuinely did not remember the character's name. I've got a
Yeah.
page pulled up in
Oh, there you
front
go.
of me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I should start doing
Gal,
that.
Gal Gadot
Mhm.
and her boyfriend are back in Japan, and then
That
they
guy.
get arrested by the Tokyo police.
Yeah. No, it's not Japan. I don't think.
Oh, is it not?
Is it?
Okay.
Isn't it not Hong Kong, or am I just
Oh,
misremembering that?
no, I'm a racist. I'm a monster. Maybe you're right. They're probably not. It doesn't say here where they are, but they're in like they're having soup, and then the police come and get them.
Yeah. The only reason I don't think it's Japan is because they still have those lines that are like, maybe finally going to Tokyo.
Yeah, that's right. Talking about their
Yeah.
life settling, because that's their plot line for this movie is
Yeah.
will they, won't they settle down and get married? I guess. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? It might even be Korea because the only thing I remember from that scene, besides like the police uniforms,
Hmm.
is they're drinking soju, but like
Oh.
it's the common. So
Right.
like I think you can get that fucking anywhere.
Yes.
So who
Yeah.
knows?
So then we cut to Russia.
Yeah.
It's an international story, guys. It's an
International
international.
movie overspanning. The Avengers did their job and they have gone to their different corners of the world.
Well, this movie came out the year after the first Avengers. So.
Yes, but the last one came out before Avengers, and remember,
Mm-hmm.
Fast did it first.
Well, Fast did it for. Well, they're getting the band back together because
They're already
Agent
doing Avengers
Hobbs.
too.
Oh God, Agent Agent Hobbs and his very young Brazilian accomplice
Yeah.
are in Russia, and they're hunting down an international terrorist who wants to get like a super important microchip. Like
Yeah. Do they explain what like the microchip does?
they just kind of vaguely tell you that it would black out, it would like incapacitate the country in such a way that it would make everyone die, I guess. Like they don't necessarily explain more than that.
Okay.
They call it the blackout, or like,
Yeah.
yeah, a bunch of people will die if they get it.
Yeah.
Um
I'm just trying to give it like the benefit of the doubt because it felt flimsy when I was watching it, but like, also I tried to think of the setting I was in.
sure.
But they immediately follow it up with something way more tangible,
Yeah.
which is Letty's a lot. Well, they found Letty. Not
They
we
found
know she was alive from the last movie, but they found her.
Yes. They found her. She's doing jobs with, well, and I don't know how long it took for you guys to pick up on this, that
Yeah.
Letty's team is made up of like mirror versions of our main Avengers team.
Yeah, Roman does the bit like about him where
There's
it's like,
yeah.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just there's a little guy, there's a Hulk, there's
Yeah.
and I guess Luke is playing basically a combination of Brian and Dom as
Yeah.
one guy, but he's just so bad. He's so evil. He's
So
so
bad.
evil.
He's evil.
Ooh, so evil, guys.
It's crazy how like you don't really find out how evil he is until so late in the movie.
Yeah.
Like they do the equivalent of like he shoots a baby and then but like it's not like they were giving you a reason to be on his side
Right.
throughout the movie. They would just had to be they just had to confirm like no matter what this guy has to go.
Well, it's so weird, and we'll get more into it, but
Yeah.
like there's a moment later in the movie where he's squishing Spaniards indiscriminately.
Yeah.
And
Not how I would have phrased that, but yeah. It's an international incident.
it's an
A
international
lot of
incident.
international incidents in this movie as as we'll come to see.
Lots of acts of technical terrorism, guys. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
and judicial force
dude,
overseas.
oh my god. I know that this is slightly, but when we get reintroduced to The Rock's character,
Yeah.
and he just beats the shit out of someone
Out
who
of the
kind
dude
of
in like a
looks,
jail.
yeah, and they're like, "Is that legal?" No.
No.
It's
And the girl's like, nope. And she's like so turned on.
she's so, yeah, wicked turned on.
These and the Rock is like throwing him to different walls, all different walls of the thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's at least he's doing his wrestling moves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he wants to catch this really bad guy who's like an international terrorist. And yeah, I like the comparison to Avengers. This movie also made me think a lot about like GI Joe, truthfully. Like,
Yeah.
we've all got special vehicles and
Oh yeah.
special little things, and
Yeah.
one of our friends has amnesia.
Dude, I can't believe they did that. Like that's
Well,
oh,
that plot line particularly felt like
yeah.
a GI Joe story, right? Like,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, especially with the military stuff at the end, which is the kind of stuff I'm not that into, but like again,
yeah.
keep going with the movie. The big thing is we find out where all the characters are, which thank you Ian for mentioning.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot Ludacris's thing of hacking an ATM in Brazil or Mexico, wherever.
And he just makes it rain. Yeah,
It makes it
everywhere.
rain.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
hell yeah. And then they get the call. They get the call from Dom. One more jobber.
We all gotta get together and get this son of a
Yeah.
bitch, Owen Shaw.
Do you think he tells them all about Letty on that call? Or is it
No,
just my name is Dom and I need your help?
I think it's dramatic. He's saving it so he can dramatically throw the manila folder across the table
Yeah.
with the pictures in it, and they're all like, "Oh no!" Except for I mean, some of these people were in movies where she didn't show up, so it's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
just a woman. I don't know who the fuck this is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got to be just for Dom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you get the call and they all turn around.
They all turn around. They all come to I'm trying to remember where the central that building
Mhm.
where they bring all the cars that they buy from the snooty English person.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what I mean. Uh,
Mhm.
the, and honestly, this is I think the point where the team gets together. They're getting debriefed by The Rock about, okay, here's what the stakes are, and here's why we need to
Mhm.
get them, and here's what we will offer you. We will give you immunity if you
Mhm.
can capture this guy Shaw,
Yeah,
and we'll get you Letty back.
which is
And so
crazy.
it's wild. It's what
It's
well,
crazy. It's
dude,
immunity for like 10 people. Like,
it's
it's,
who have committed so many acts of
yeah,
definitely counts as terrorism.
yeah.
But dude, when we get to the deal at the end of this movie, I
Uh.
literally had to stand up at a certain point. It was a roller coaster. So 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 they all get on. They buy a bunch of beautiful cars at an auction in England, I think, or it
Yeah.
was just run by an English guy, perhaps,
Mhm.
because because is it Ludacris feels the need to like prove that like you're a dick. I'm gonna buy the clothes off of you and make you walk away nude, English snob.
It's Ludacris and The Rock, yeah.
It's Ludacris.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, so then we basically just start like a hunt for this guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the closest they get is they use the dude they captured and The Rock beats up in that
mhm,
first, causing an international incident.
yes.
To like you're watching that room scene, you're like, oh, World War III may be starting in this room, and then
Mm-hmm.
because all he had to do was like the dude says one thing and the big American soldier man
Yep.
comes in and just beats the shit out of him,
Yep.
as we do. So
As we do.
like
Ooh.
uh but so yeah, they use him as they wiretap him for to get recording of Shaw.
Yes.
Hopefully, he
Yep.
was doing, and then it was apparently Shaw's plan all along.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
He's too good. And then they send in the two of the women on the team, Gal
Yeah,
Gadot and shoot, I think it's the Rock's assistant. Is
yeah.
that
It's the
right?
Rock's
Like the
assistant. I don't even know if they say her name.
okay.
Like I
So and
don't remember her name at all.
we gotta come back to this thought. I'm just saying it now, so we come
Yeah.
back to it. Doesn't she betray him at
Yes.
some point in
At
this
the end.
movie?
At the end of the
I
movie.
think
At the end,
the last
but
five
then
minutes.
she comes back, and they don't explain. Like, I
No,
feel
no,
like
no,
I
no, no,
missed
no. She
something.
doesn't come back. She starts fight. Like okay.
Okay,
So I'll just say this real quick so it doesn't bug you.
okay,
Riley.
Yeah. So it's right when Shaw has revealed that he's kidnapped Dom's sister and Paul Walker's wife.
yes,
Um it's when revealed that and then he can walk out
yeah,
and she goes,
yeah,
"Yeah, I'll help you out." uh
yeah.
revealing she's been a double agent or something.
The whole time,
The whole
whole
time.
time.
Um and then which makes the fight with I just realized with Letty really weird, but I guess not because Letty doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, I.
So we don't know
But
how long she's been on that payroll. Anyway, she betrays the Rock and the guys,
yeah.
and then is fighting like the next time we see her, she's fighting them on the plane.
Well, but then who's the woman that's with the Rock when they go back to East LA and there's like a cop and Dom's like, "Hey, you watch out for that guy, right?" You know what I mean? Like there's a red-haired woman in the very end. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. It might be a new one.
Ah, dang.
This will be the
Anyway,
third assistant. Yeah.
that was I found that confusing. And just to add one last thought to that is also like, so did Owen Shaw? Because when we meet that girl in Fast Five, they say
Mm-hmm.
explicitly she's 19. She just passed to get into the police force. So did Owen Shaw have a relationship with her
Is
before
that
she
did
was
they
into
really
the
say she's 19? She's not like 19.
I
But
think in the fifth one they say, yeah, she just got
oh,
into the police force. She's 19 years old.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm thinking too hard about it is the answer.
yeah,
But
yeah. You're giving it more thought than they did. I don't know if that's true, but like,
well, it seems that I don't know. We'll get there.
We'll find out.
All right, let's just burn through the rest of the plot and then we'll hit the main ideas.
yeah, looking at time.
So da 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 da. So then the girls have a shootout. Then
Yeah,
we get to
yeah. No, I'm saying
uh
yeah.
yeah. And then we get to the big. I guess that's really the big heist. Is there anything else I'm not thinking? Oh, what's his name? Brian, played by our lead
Uh,
gentleman, Paul Walker, goes back to L.A. to go to prison because
he has cartel ties.
he has cartel ties, and this is important to figuring out what happened to Letty. So
Yeah,
there's a whole scene where he goes to jail and fights the bad guy from one of the other
yeah.
Fast and Furious movies. Uh, which is cool and weird. And then they just are like, "Yeah, okay, we did that. You get to go back to the
Get
main
to go
plot
back
now."
now. We figured
Yeah,
out Letty survived the house. Letty survived the crash,
yeah, yeah,
which is she was close enough to the explosion to fly away and hit her head and lose all her memories, but not enough,
to
not
die.
close enough to die.
Yep. And all those
So
people who were trying to murder her suddenly
yeah,
changed their minds when they realized she's an amnesiac, and they could use that to their advantage. So,
somehow. Well, Dom believes
yeah,
Letty's in there.
yeah,
She, love, our hot rod love will
transcends your
transcend.
brain injury.
Yeah,
So let's see. Then,
with his hot rod. No, it's fine.
so then we learned that the British intelligence agency and NATO may have been infiltrated by Shaw's spies.
Yeah,
That's devastating. So The Rock is like, "Whoa, we got to put the microchip in a van and move it out." Uh, and collectively, everyone's like, "Oh shit, that's the plan. Shaw wants them to move it out in a caravan to rob it."
mm.
And then that's our setup for the first big chase of the finale. The finale
Yeah.
is really two chases back to back that really
Yeah,
don't
I'm actually
stop.
surprised when we got to that part how much of the movie was left.
Yeah.
Like, which is the tank, right?
It's the tank. It's the chase down the
Yeah.
Iberian coast along the sea. But
Oh
then
shit, we
and
didn't.
then
Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh god,
No,
uh,
go ahead.
it's a tank, the chase,
Yeah.
the flip, then the plane, then the crash. That's that's like it's like five scenes back to back of big stunt, set up,
Yeah,
stunt.
real big
Yeah,
stunts too.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about the chase down the subway.
Oh, that was awesome.
Holy crap! I totally forgot about the chase in the
Yeah, the on foot chase.
yeah.
What'd you think,
Where
Chris?
Letty, where what I was saying is kind of weird, where Letty's fighting the Rock's assistant.
Mhm.
A lot of only women can fight women in this movie,
Yes.
and no dudes. I know they're also very strict about like characters and what they can do in these
You
Mhm.
want to
movies.
see men fight women? I got you, Chris.
I
Yeah.
do want to see more men fight with.
Fast Fast 7's gonna have you covered, Chris.
Thank you,
You'll feel at
thank you.
home.
I appreciate that. So and then they fight like a Bruce Lee knockoff
Mhm.
Mhm.
in the subway, leading to that like comedic scene with Roman and oh my god, what's his name? Han,
Yeah.
where that small moment where they're both like, "You go in, no, you go in," like,
Yeah. Yeah.
is really good.
Yeah.
Um, it's that fight and how tired they are, and like, oh, okay, we can't tell anyone. It does lead to one of my things about this movie, which is there is way more punch up writing that you can tell, or at least that's noticeable
Mm-hmm.
in this
Mm-hmm.
movie Because otherwise, it would just be a straight action movie with
Yeah.
like no comedic flair.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas there's scenes in here that are like they feel like they were put in just for fun, like for fun factor or like funny.
There are many lines, I don't know if it's the delivery, but especially The Rock has in this movie that are
Yeah.
just like, wow, man, you're swinging for the fences with that line. That
It stays
yeah.
in line with his character from the last movie, though, and
Yeah, that's true.
that dude's a cartoon. That is not.
Oh yeah.
That is not
Yeah.
a real person. That is what a child thinks an army man is.
Yes, this is what a teenager thinks a cool guy is.
Yeah, cool
Exactly.
army man is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man.
yeah. So there's a lot of that. I mean, there's some good use of it, like the harpoon gun being accidentally
Dude.
launched in the garage,
And
as
and
like, hey, we have a weapon now.
hey, we have a weapon and
a
wait,
lot,
okay, let me
a lot of
okay.
harpoon guns in this movie.
I'm gonna ask you both. I want to start with Nick just
Yeah.
for a thought.
Okay.
Is this movie now leaning all the way into sci-fi? Have we kind of hit that like?
I think we have with those EMP sticky bombs and all that.
Okay.
Because like
Yeah.
we kind of touch upon it in two, right? Where like there's
That
a
it
gun in there that does
pretend?
not exist.
Yeah, the electric pulse
Hog
can
gun.
stop a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so fucking crazy and so out there for that movie. They use it only
There's
twice.
there's a military van that gets flipped over with like a self-drilling trip cord thing.
Yeah.
That also feels very out there
Mm-hmm.
to me.
But not so much that you can't believe it. That's some like advanced military thing.
Right. But it certainly kind of, well, especially when we get to that, like, oh shit, a tank. Like,
It's a pretty
okay,
great reveal.
we've broken through to the other side, guys.
Yeah. No,
there's no
absolutely.
pretending. You know?
Absolutely. That scene is okay, we're done now. This
Yeah.
franchise has changed.
And we're not going back.
Yeah,
We're not.
there's no way to put it back. Already with the safe scene from the last movie, I was like, okay, we've hit cartoon realm.
Yes.
With this, this is military action movie.
Well, yeah. I think that like the comparison I made it fits. If you do you remember the I think The Rock was in a movie adaptation of G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah, I think so. I can double check. But keep going.
This feels very like, yo, Joe, roll out. We need the motorcycles to catch up before the terrorists blow the bridge up. Yeah,
He's in G.I. Joe Retaliation, which came out the same year.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So can you fucking imagine you're watching this movie and you're into big blockbusters of the summer, and then you go watch G.I. Joe and The Rock's playing almost the same exact character, except he's allowed to shoot the guns now?
Gentlemen, I want you to imagine that you were born in the year 2000, 2001, and you're going to the movies that summer. What a time for you. What a time. Oh, man.
13-year-old boy, like just, all testosterone.
Yeah, get him, Rock!
The Fast and Furious shots where they're just like girls' asses, but then they go into the car. So like,
oh my god,
your like boner would be confused with cars. And it
no,
makes
no,
you buy a car. No one else, just me. We're like, what?
Strengthened by cars, sir.
Strengthened by cars.
Well, I will say, like, the movies are not chaste by any means, but building on the trend from 5, way less horny, way less sexual. This movie,
Yeah. In
Like-
fact, when it happens now, it feels a little like we have to put it in because it's a Fast and Furious movie.
This is obligatory. Yeah.
Way less horny.
Well, even like the main, like none of the women, not Gal Gadot and not.
Although one could argue with the fights, but anyway,
One could argue with the girl fight. I guess that's a little bit
2 girl
maybe.
fights.
There are 2 girl fights in this here flick, but it's
same
not like
characters, but different every time they happen.
yes. Well, just to say, we don't get a shot like we did of what's her face. I'm blanking on her name right now, but Michelle Rodriguez. We don't get a shot of Michelle like we did in Fast One, and we
No.
don't get one like we did of Gal Gadot in 2 and 4. Like
Yeah.
this is, it's just some random lady booty sticking out a window
Yeah.
on a car that's on its side, and it's like, all right, we did that. Let's keep
We
getting back
did the
to
car meetup. And then we lead into a car. We haven't talked about that. The car scene between Vin Diesel and Letty,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is Dom and Letty, which is they're fucking while driving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
having
yeah.
a race. It's one of those things I was talking about like to the group, which
Yep.
is movies, especially PG-13 ones, they'll do a thing where it's obviously it's a stand-in for those characters fucking.
Mm-hmm.
And I call it
Mm-hmm.
fight fucking. Usually it's because
Mm-hmm.
it's usually a fight.
Yep.
This time it's like cars. They're just
Yes.
racing cars and they're doing it sensually.
Oh, these cars, they're a part of each other. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah.
merge right now to a transformer. And and then we get the standoff with Shaw, showing how Shaw's the one wall in between him and Letty.
Yeah.
Um, and then the thing of I have a gun, I have a sniper ready to kill you.
Yeah.
And then Vin Diesel's like, "Well, I didn't. It's not like I prepared, but I knew the Rock would chase me."
Yes. Yes.
And then he's standing just stock still with like a sniper on his shoulder. And then I'm standing there going, even I know that's not how that works, but whatever. And
Damn.
sorry, but it's supposed to make him look like an action figure.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Do you mind if we jump into that last 30 minutes of this movie?
Yeah, I think we can jump into the tank thing, right?
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
so Shaw, the international terrorist, has
Yeah.
stolen a U.S. tank and
US
is
tank.
driving it on a Spanish freeway.
Yeah.
Just squishing dudes, just
Oh yeah,
indiscriminately.
it's a lot too. It's a lot, and there's no ifs, ands, or but those people are dead.
Well, because we have like a handful of monster movie shots where like people are abandoning their cars,
Yeah, on a
screaming.
freeway.
Yes, 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 yes. And we also get Letty, who, that's another thing. Like, Letty, you've worked with this man for at least 4 years based on the timeline. You're just now realizing he does murder that's indiscriminate and
Yeah.
terrible. Okay.
And he
But-
looks like the way he's portraying is like a little kid, just like squishing hands,
Yeah, he's
like, but
fucking
he's super
loving it.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, he's going out of his, like, he's turning left and right to get him. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not getting away. I'm getting you. Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
those things where he's not smiling, but like he's feeling something.
This is the
Like,
only way he can feel something.
Yeah.
And then
Pretty
we've
good
got,
on the actor's part for that look.
Is it and then it's Roman who's driving this car that barely escapes being
Yeah.
blown up by holy shit, when he starts firing the gun, he blows up a bridge, he starts firing the gun at the other drivers. I legitimately, I may have imbibed some before finishing the movie. While I had a moment where I was like, oh shit, I forgot the tank shoots.
Yeah, it shoots. That's cool.
I was just thinking of it as a big squisher.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Tanks are scary.
Tanks are scary, guys. What did we think of that general scene? Is there anything that you wanted to? Because I thought that Tyrese Gibson, he's killing it in that scene. He's really
He still is like one of the best parts of these movies.
Yeah.
And I was talking about that with the group too. Like, especially whenever I think about 2, I think about like, wow, I think he's the only one giving it his all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like that. That's probably not true because, like, these people obviously care about the craft.
Sure.
But there are scene reads we talked about where it's like, it looks like someone's waving a check off screen. The way they're reading everything.
Definitely for Paul Walker, who I think is a strong actor, but in 2 he was just kind of coasting, and Vin Diesel in the first few feels very flat, as we've said.
Yeah, like, Vin Diesel in that first one really feels like he's trying to get his like legs with that character.
Well,
We don't see him get emotional. We haven't seen him open up like he did when he talked about his dad
yeah,
in the first one. It's all just he's cool or like just real horned up.
yeah, yeah. Basically, he's scowling or like turning on the charm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
what do we think of Vin Diesel and Paul in this flick? Are they? I think they're doing pretty well. Pretty well.
Yeah, but not a lot of scenes with them outside of hey, we just got to get Letty.
True.
I'm not feeling that that sexual tension between them as much in this movie.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Dude, cuz like in the last one there's every scene he's in, it felt like the most. Like it felt like
Hmm.
every scene he's in he's just smiling at Dom with a big stupid grin on his face.
We're finally back together again.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fucking
Exactly.
happy he's here. Oh my god. It's like it's it's that movie's crazy.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, okay, so let's finish off the bridge scene.
Sure.
Um
Uh.
with the squishing, they stop the tank. Well, they save Roman. There is a brief moment where I'm like, if they better not fucking kill off Roman. They're gonna kill off one of the best parts of this franchise, and they're
They.
gonna lose one of their. And just from a writer's perspective, like script writing, they're gonna
Yeah.
lose one of the only outlets of like levity
Yes.
in
Yeah.
these movies, and that's a real bad move. Like,
Yeah. We need him. We need
yeah,
him. So let's see. Shaw blows up a bridge. Then Brian O'Connor uses the debris to ramp onto the other side of the freeway to
yeah,
chase the tank. And Dominic Toretto then, what is it, latches the wire cable to the barrel of the tank gun
yeah.
in an attempt to flip it over as Letty is sent out to get it. So he has to crash his car to launch his body off the hood and
Yes.
mid-air catch Letty and
Fucking
then brace for impact into a windscreen.
it's so wild. It's like you're watching it literally is, you're watching an action figure just careen off screen. Like
Mm-hmm.
and it's shot so smoothly, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about what you're looking at. You're
No, no.
watching a man fly out of his car, catch this amnesia ridden ex girlfriend
Yeah.
and landing into the window of another car. And they look fine. When they land, it looks like genuinely soft and
Yep.
fine.
I think that was the scene that I turned to the person I was watching this film
Yeah.
with, and I said out loud, the plot is getting in the way of what makes these movies fun. Just, just,
I think
just
I
have
agree
stuff
with
blow
you,
up.
dude. I think I agree, and like, I think they agree too, because, like I mentioned, it is the most flimsy of excuses for Shaw to exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Rock chase, the only if it wasn't for Letty, like there really is no, like you wouldn't feel the stakes other than I guess everyone would die in Europe or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Which again in movies like that really doesn't do it for most people.
Yeah, you can't just wave your hand like episodes. Oh, here's a wild quote, but it can't be episode 7 where it's like it's a world killer. We don't need to show it to you. Just believe us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they save Letty. They flip the tank. The British Special Intelligence arrests all the bad guys in the tank.
Yeah.
And this is the scene where I stood up, guys. And I was like, they're not gonna fucking do this, right? This is crazy. Where they've captured Shaw, and the British guy says the thing that should be said in reality, which is, well, if the choice is millions of people or 2 hostages, we're gonna choose millions of people. Like, sorry about your wife. And then the Rock points a gun at him, and he's like,
dude,
no.
it's crazy. It's crazy that it's The Rock, right?
Yeah.
And it could have been anyone.
Yep.
But the fact that it's The Rock is probably the most interesting choice. In the sense that, one, it's a surprise because why the fuck would The Rock throughout his military career for these people?
Yeah.
And then two, it's realizing no, he's doing it because he is part of the Fambambly now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I am committing treason against the United States.
Two international incidents.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No, the tank, because Shaw's British, right?
Yes.
And they're in Spain. They're in
Spain.
Spain.
Mm.
When the tank thing goes off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3.
Yeah.
That's an act of terrorism.
That is
against
an act of
civilians.
Well, how many people died on that freeway? At least 12. At least 12.
Oh, it's got to be way more. Yeah, it's got to be way.
Yeah.
It's got yeah, so then he fucking holds the military dude. They let him go. That's where we find out the Rock's partner, which is a flip on the whole dialogue of like, your police is compromised already. Mine are fine. Which shows like the Rock has been wrong like twice.
So bad,
about picking out people. He's so bad at recruiting. He just picks like a pretty lady, and then it bites him in the ass.
Yep. Good lord. So what do we have then? Ludacris blocks the signal so that Shaw can't betray them, because we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then we have to go chase him again to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the plane fight chase / Gal Gadot and her lover trying to bring the plane down with a harpoon gun.
Multiple harpoon guns.
There's
so many harpoon guns.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, me and Nick agree that was the best product placement is when they're showing off the harpoon gun, and they take off the canister and it's just a can of NOS. And we're like, yeah, best character. Best character comes back. The tank of NOS.
Yeah.
Because we've forgotten our ways with these movies.
Well, at one point Roman was going to NOS his way away from the tank, but the NOS was broken, so it's like, we don't get that payoff.
We don't get that crazy CG shot of like the engine going inside the engine and seeing all the fucking ignition, the fuel ignite.
Yeah.
It comes off as weirdly sexual.
Well, it is. It's both weird and very sexual.
It is. So they go chase him, and then we lead into that thing where we like we've talked about, the kind of cool thing, and like a lot, like something that makes action scenes really good is if they both have like different objectives other than like, I have to kill the other person, but then I have to kill the other person as part of reaching that objective. So with Shaw's team is we have to take off, and then the Fambambly gets to, or has to stop that plane from leaving.
Yes.
So the conflict comes from there with some very creative like action moments.
Yeah.
And shit starts like popping, like a lot happens in that time. We get Letty and the person who betrays the Rock and the team. They fight again, but now it's flipped. It's the same thing but different, Nick. And like that great scene of Vin Diesel and The Rock fighting that dude that looks like Brock Lesnar, but he looks like an older Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, dude, and that like standing, he looks like he's gonna do a standing suplex when he lifts him, but The Rock like spears him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking sick.
That was pretty good.
Okay, best part. This is not part of the movie, but when we were watching on Tubi, so there's commercials. As soon as The Rock hits him, we all like went because it was like the coolest takedown of the movie, and then the commercial hit, like right as the thing. So great comedic timing on Tubi's part.
Incredible.
What about you, Nick? What any standouts from the plane fight scene that we should hit upon? Because I'm probably going to talk about everything to do with the Gal Gadot and
Han.
Han. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean the headbutt that Vin Diesel.
The flying headbutt that Vin Diesel does. Yeah,
it's so hard.
It's so funny.
It shoots the giant guy back into a crate. He
Yeah.
destroys the crate.
And then we even gave a shot of Vin Diesel like getting off the floor, being like, "Holy shit!" That fight, like,
And it worked. He oiled
Did
his.
you see that shit?
that's the
I
shit
thought-
that like killed. That's killed wrestlers. Like that's one of the most dangerous wrestling moves in like their repertoires.
Yeah.
Like famously, so in fact, the guy who invented the flying headbutt,
Mhm.
would tell people he taught it like, "Don't use this. This will ruin your life. It's ruined mine."
This is like the
Yeah.
real life version of the 5 fingers of death, guys. It's not
Yeah.
meant for doing. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So, sorry, Nick. The flying headbutt, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, flying headbutt. I mean, apparently the plane is going on the longest runway in the world.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right,
it's
man.
crazy.
I hadn't thought of
I know
that.
there was a point where I was like, "How long are runways?" Do I not know?
That's-
Because I know they're longer than I think they are, right? But like,
that plane was only going 5 miles an hour the whole time.
yeah,
It was
whoops.
crawling along that runway.
It was wild.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Oh man.
But yeah,
That-
and then the Rock's partner, the betrayer,
yeah.
getting harpooned out of
Out
the
the
thing.
door. Yes.
So
Yes.
great. It's weird because they also go into like, I guess to keep these movies PG-13,
Mhm.
they don't show real on-screen deaths, and what I mean by that
Mhm.
is like they'll show a person like where you go, "Oh yeah, they obviously died," but they
Yeah.
won't like it won't be like gory or visceral. Like you won't see the life leaving their eyes.
Right.
Type
Right.
deal, like those shots.
Yes.
But that harpoon one is like so
That's brutal.
it's brutal, it's cartoonish, but it's still like believable because it looks kind of like cartoony.
Yes.
It's that thing I talk about all the time where like if you've ever seen someone die in real life, like someone actually die
Mhm.
in like videos or anything, uh like it doesn't look real, you know?
Mhm.
It looks kind of
Mhm.
cartoonish.
Mhm.
Because we're so used to the Hollywood versions where like they have to sell it to you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Whereas,
Whereas like
yeah,
real life is not that.
nothing like. Well, and making that comparison again, we're so far away from wrapped up arm, but dude,
Yeah.
like, the scene. I loved the scene where it's Han and Gal Gadot on the 2 cars suspended from the plane,
It's really good.
and I guess it's an earned moment of him saying, "I've always got you," as Gal Gadot pushes away to shoot the bad guy behind
Yeah.
Han, saving his
Yeah.
life.
But
And
she flies off into the darkness.
yes, yes,
So
and
we haven't seen her die.
true.
So there's a very good chance she's gonna
She's
come
alive.
back in these later movies. Like,
But and that's immediately what I thought. Like, okay, she's dead until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Fuck. Okay. Any other parts of the scene, or should we start? Because I'm looking at the time. Should we start skipping to the end?
The only other thing I would say is Luke Evans is such an unusual bad guy, like foil to these
Yeah.
characters.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Where he's kind of dead
Oh.
inside.
yeah, he's like a vacuum
Yeah.
of energy. But the one thing I wanted to mention after the plane does crash
Mhm.
and the Bambambly
Yeah.
is all together and they're like, "Oh no, where's your girl, Han? Where is she?" And then they're all like consoling him.
Yeah.
And then Dominic Toretto.
You put it. You made it seem like so much meaner than what it is in the movie. So in the movie, they're like, "Well, we got your back, man. We got your back
Yes.
if you're here." But now I like the scene of, "Oh, what happened, Han? Oh, could have put a ring on that. Oh,
Oh, should have settled down sooner, dumbass.
oh man, you should have got. Oh,
No,
I got your
so they're
back. Yeah, I heard that shit from the plane, dude. Oh,
Oh yeah.
they're comforting Han. They're having a little moment, and they're kind of like, they're in shock because they're in front of a giant plane that just exploded. And Dominic Toretto has not only saved the microchip that will destroy the world, but he's just like, yeah, that didn't bother me. I'm walking out of a burning plane.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
fine.
right. Fine.
No distress. Like, I don't know. That's a wild shot, dude. Where he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm fine. Okay.
It's so cool. And then we get that weird moment of like, yeah, so what about the Brazilian cop?
Yeah.
And I guess she knows this. She knows the deal.
I
Dom's
guess.
heart will always be with her, and whatever we had these past 3 years doesn't mean shit. So we're just gonna.
Yep.
She's gonna return back to the Force so she can come back in a later movie.
Yep.
How do we feel about the real true family barbecue? Because this is the we haven't had that. We've had family meals. We haven't had a barbecue since the first one, I think.
I think you had sent me this video because we would talk about the production part of it and how janky it is. And so I guess we'll just mention that before we get to the next bit of it. But holy shit, it's wild. It's like, there are 3 things I love: God, America, and fast cars, y'all.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
That's what really matters,
dude.
guys.
That's what matters.
Well, family, God,
family,
America.
God.
Family.
In fact, I'm bummed out that Roman says friends in the prayer, but the prayer he's doing is like an actual one I've heard. So,
oh, okay.
I guess it's not crazy because it's an actual prayer.
Okay.
It's just a family. But whatever.
There's a scene where The Rock and Vin Diesel are not in the scene together, and yet they are. And you can tell that they were composited in because they never make eye contact.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, that was something. Am I getting that wrong? Is that like is it The Rock or Jason Statham that? I know Vin Diesel and The Rock don't like each other, but they will do scenes with each other.
Okay.
But Jason Statham and The Rock will go out of their fucking way not to.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Well, so as I understand it, that barbecue, when we go back to 1327 East LA, I remember it because that was his one request along with Amnesty was, give me my old house back.
Give me my old back. Kick whoever's out.
Kick whoever's out.
I want it back.
Give it back to me.
I want my land.
I know that East LA is not a very competitive house market, guys. Yeah, just get rid of them.
Get rid of them. Make them disappear.
Yeah, that scene was shot composite. Well, at least for those 2 gentlemen. The reason why they and I noticed it a lot. Like most of those shots are with body doubles where they're shooting over the shoulder. It's not The Rock. It's not it's not Vin Diesel acting against each other. Yeah. So these movies may progressively get weirder with the shot sequence.
Well, I know Hobbs and Shaw apparently is crazy because again, The Rock and Jason Statham will not do scenes together, and it's fucking called Hobbs and Shaw.
It's crazy.
Okay, so we just gotta talk about the last scene. Looking at the timer. So they do the barbecue. Yay, family, fast cars, America. And we cut to Tokyo. We cut to the amazing chase scene throughout Shibuya.
Yeah.
They do the drift through Shibuya Square. Yeah. And we see Han die again. I thought, okay, so when we see Han in the upside down car.
Yeah.
Did you think they were going to do what they did with Letty? And be like, no, he's alive. He lived somehow.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. I can't believe they killed him a second time. Just to have Jason Statham show up and be like, I murdered him.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
If you're gonna I really hated that. Like, if you're gonna retcon someone's death, don't take away the fact, like, oh my, how do I put this?
Don't take the impact out of that moment. Like, that moment had a meaning.
Yeah, and that it was like they were racing bad.
Yeah.
Or like it was a random accident because they're racing through like cities. Well, it's not random. They're causing like mayhem and shit.
Yeah.
but it's a consequence of their actions too.
Yeah.
But to introduce the character like that, when
Hmm.
at you could have just introduced him at any point later, and it would have like I think have
Yeah.
had the same impact, other than hey, I went to a theater. The next movie is gonna have Jason Statham as the villain,
Yeah.
as the thing, and that's gonna get me to watch it, which is what it is, which is what it feels like, and I don't think Han deserved that.
No. No. I agree.
Oh, it's weird, weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's more or less the movie. Go go watch it. Let's
Yeah.
get into. I haven't named any of the parts this one. We're just going fast. Let's get
Yeah,
to the
man.
falling action. What'd you all get out of it? Nick, I'm gonna open the floor to you because I know Ian and I kind of steamrolled and like just to summarize the what's happening in the movie.
Yeah.
But Nick, what'd you get out of it? What'd you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Like,
Yeah,
personally, getting out of it, I definitely, well, it's kind of weird because I definitely appreciate a lot of the parts of it that were working
Hmm.
uh huh,
more, versus when it came out in 2013. I definitely appreciate the action scenes for sure a lot more.
Hmm.
Um,
yeah,
and kind of like catching all the weirder, like, sort of behind the scenes acting stuff with like Dwayne and Statham and
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's outing and uh yeah, no, I got out of it just like a really good film. Film that I think I definitely like more than four. I don't know if I like. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I don't know if I like it more than Fast Five,
Uh-huh.
I
but
might have to rewatch it and just be like, just to see.
just to see, yeah. But no, it was. I mean, it was cool, like seeing all the other characters
Hmm.
Mm.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So what'd you? Okay. So what'd you get out of it, Ian?
What did I get out of it? I mean, I think we got. Oh, I think that Fast and Furious 6 is really a franchise that has now decided what it is.
Yeah.
Like, Fast and Furious 6 is full blown without reservation. Oh, that's what I thought these movies were. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. We've hit that point
um,
now.
uh, I think that I think this is a stronger conclusion action scene than even 5. I liked it more,
Mm.
and I'm happy to like make an argument for it, but I think it just boils down to
Mm.
I had an actual reaction to that scene. Like, so we have an action scene, we
Yeah.
have the arrest scene, and then we have a final action scene.
Yes.
That arrest scene where he's like going to try and terrorist his way out of being arrested by the military.
Yeah.
I was like, well, they can't have him blackmail the military.
Yeah.
That's what? No! No! And I stood up. I was like angry, and I was like, I guess this is what the movie wants me to do, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's working. So you win, Fast and Furious 6. I'm angry that
I'm
you
angry.
would do this to me. Um, so I think in that way, like it manipulated me exactly as it wanted to. So
Yeah.
yeah, kudos, man. Like it's a fun, silly action sequence, and when the movie gets out of its own way with, don't worry about the plot. This is just a scene where two sexy
Yeah.
ladies beat up a guy and then do a shootout.
Yeah.
Don't get it. You don't get bogged down by the plot. There's a bad English guy and he's gonna blow up a plane and like. I think that's kind of what makes the movie sing for me is when we're not thinking about it. Like, yeah, Paul Walker doesn't need to be in jail in LA, but he fucking is, and he's gonna fight this drug kingpin. Just be here, you
Yeah.
know? So I think it was a movie that learned me to stop, taught me how to stop worrying and learn to love the bomb, as the old phrase goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, man? What did you
Okay.
get out of it?
100% agree about like where we're at the point now where we all think what's Fast and Furious in our heads,
Yeah.
right? At this point in time. Um my thing so I'll get a little navel gazy here.
Mhm.
Uh it made me think about how as a writer. No, as a lot of people when they write stuff have priorities in
Mm-hmm.
what they tend to focus on in their stories, whether they want to accept that or not.
Mm-hmm.
And me, it's always been characters. That's always been
Mm-hmm.
my primary focus. To the and it was at such an extreme like early on, where as a teenager and early like college even, I was adamant that characters are always number one, and I mean to this day
Mhm,
I still believe that,
mhm.
but the gradient's a lot less. Like all the things are a lot closer together now,
Right,
where I think
right.
things have to kind of have a synergy
Yeah.
in order for like the most amazing stories.
Right.
But this is very much like characters number one. Plot is like going more and more out of the way
Yeah.
for stuff. In
Yeah.
the sense, we've now like hit a point where it's like, yeah, it's very loose what
Yeah.
Mhm.
the villain wants and what they're trying to prevent. And while they do add the character to strengthen it, that plot, they add Letty to strengthen it.
Mhm.
Because the movie really is like, if we're all being honest, just getting Letty back.
Yeah.
Um, with like the action things tacked on. Well, not tacked on, but that's like the big set pieces for the movie, and now we're just trying to like service that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the plot's going more and more out of the way, and Letty being a big part of that plot is just more focusing on a character, like in their relationship, and making her have amnesia. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we're getting there, and in some sense, in some ways, my like early on self was right.
Hmm.
If we're going based on numbers and money,
Yeah.
and that, yeah, that is what makes the big blockbuster like
Yeah.
Hollywood hit. That's what people go to watch.
Yeah.
Avengers is like that. Like the Avengers movies are like that too. Marvel movies are like that, where you're like, you have to fall in love with these characters. What the villains are become weaker and weaker as time goes on,
Yeah.
and less like, oh yeah, they're just like, yeah, I guess they have to go, but who cares? I'm having fun adventures with
Hmm.
Doctor Strange or something.
Right.
Um, and so it's kind of, yeah, we're watching as we're doing this because we're watching the like years go on through these
Yes.
movies from 2000s to now.
Yeah.
We're watching the Hollywood blockbuster, yeah, really just become more and more that action set piece. Make sure they love the characters.
Yeah.
Plot just make sure they get from point A to point B. At least American movies. This is all
Well,
obviously that. I can't speak for other places, but
let me
Mhm.
throw on to that thought, actually,
yeah.
Chris, really quick. Just because while we were also, it did occur to me watching this, like,
Mm,
as you say, first Fast and Furious came out 99, like just before 2000, I think.
yeah. Yeah. Before
So
9/11.
before not, good lord. So there's a whole generation of people who are college age right now,
Yeah.
and this franchise may well be the spine of what they think an action movie
Mm-hmm.
is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Fast
the
and Furious came
template
out
now.
2001. Never mind.
2001.
Yeah.
Just hey, we were all going through
Oh,
it then.
still before 9/11.
Just,
So there we go.
but the idea that this I think this has colored a whole generation of people's understanding of movies, action movies in particular, and it's
Yeah.
like I being well, we being people who have not seen them before, largely, I really feel like I'm, oh, okay, so this is where y'all are at. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm understanding something I was ignorant to before. So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
sure we'd get the same effect with like if we rewatched all the Marvel movies.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh
we
yeah.
did. I mean, most of me and you and Nick, like we're at some point just watching every single one that came out, and at some point we stopped.
Yes.
Um, so like we have that as our like backbone for what blockbuster movies are.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It's
Yeah, you're
weird.
watching it. You're watching it evolve, change. It's not what you.
Mhm.
It's not what you thought it was anymore.
No,
Things
certainly
get
not.
different. You're a different person. The fun you had was, it'll always be a good memory. But here we are now, two completely different people.
And now, and sometimes Jason Statham changes your memories
Yeah, that's
and
right.
makes them different.
and now, well, very much like memories, Ian, your
Mhm.
current self is influencing what the past reality was.
Yeah, man.
So,
Hey, how about that? Uh,
anyway,
anyway.
uh, okay, so we got to do the thing.
Yeah.
Before let's just skip the denouement for now. If
Okay.
you need any recommendations, just go keep watching Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Because we
Keep watching.
have business.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
Ian, you have a really good recommendation you want to get off your chest.
Watch The
There you go.
Italian Job, 1969.
It's good shit.
It was supposed to be an inspiration for this flick, and it's
Yeah.
actually a really funny action movie. Go watch The Italian Job.
Yeah. Especially if you want some what international action movies become. The
Mm.
Italian
Yeah.
Job really is like kind of the blueprint.
Yeah, yeah. Michael
Uh,
Caine's in it, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Nick, any recommendations you want to get off your chest, or should we just go to rankings?
Movie 2013 action movie. The G.I. Joe one that happened.
G.I. Joe Retaliation. I didn't even watch that fucking one, did I?
No, don't watch that. That one's not good.
I'm not going to.
Uh,
No plans.
no plan.
Yeah.
I
Don't
mean,
want 'em.
in that same vein, you can kind of like check out other Vin Diesel's action movies that were more aligning with that. Because
Okay.
like back then, the closest like Six reminded me of was like Triple X, and then like
Oh.
Really?
Pride, kind of, but I don't know.
Okay. No,
Return of the
yeah.
Xander Cage, Triple X.
The
Goodness. Yeah. Oof.
Interesting.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Cool.
Mhm.
Anyway, rankings. Where
Ranking.
are we? All right, gentlemen.
Yes.
Before we go into rankings, we have to decide what's the best action scene in this movie. For me, it's between two. If I may throw them out there,
Go ahead.
the tank heist
Mhm.
ending with Vin Diesel catching Letty, that whole
Yeah.
sequence,
Yeah.
or the fights on the plane as you're trying to get him down.
I'd go for Tank myself. What about you two?
Nick, I want to hear yours. I'm really interested
Oh,
because I have a guess, but you may surprise me.
that's tough. I mean, the last one was definitely the biggest.
Yes.
I don't know, the subway one I thought was kind of cool.
You like the subway one? I do. I like the
Ooh,
subway one
okay.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like the character like dynamic in it with between Roman and Han.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It really is fun.
True. True.
Okay, so you're gonna. Is that your vote?
Yeah, vote.
Okay.
Okay. So, while I do agree with you, Nick, I really like that one. The only thing that doesn't do it for me is that fight with Han and Roman. As much as
Mm.
it's fun and it's one of the better like character moments of the movie, does like scream just kind of like showcase like one of the problems with or one of the more noticeable things with this movie. It's not really a problem, but
Mhm.
like if you know how movies work, it kind of takes you out of it.
Mhm.
Which is that seems like a very punch up scene
Oh,
because
okay.
it's just because we've just had action for a while before we get that
Mhm.
for levity
Mhm.
versus like I'm caught between the tank and the plane stuff
Right.
because the tank scene are yes they do showcase highlight good character moments especially for the villain because we finally get to see like oh yeah this dude might as well be a serial killer he's so out like
Yeah.
he has to go and they show it in very brutal way like the most brutal I think you can get for a PG-13 movie at the time
Yeah.
as you're watching a bunch of pedestrians get run over by
Yes.
a tank
Yeah.
um and then with coming back with the fast like action style of they use a car as an anchor to
Yeah.
stop this tank and Dom gets launched through a window and catches from one freeway to the next and catches Letty midair.
Yeah.
The plane sequence, however, has a lot of great character moments that have huge impact for what the story ends up being,
Hmm.
and a lot of things happen real quick. And there's
Mm.
great wrestling moves too.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Like
Um,
he does. Doesn't he do a headbutt that crushes a crate that crushes Shaw as well?
something, yeah, it's crazy.
Something like that.
The one that sticks out in my mind, like if I had to base my gut, it would be the tank scene, though.
Okay.
That might change. That might change like tomorrow. The more I think about it, because the more I'm talking about, it, the more I'm like, yeah, maybe I do like that plane sequence.
Well, if if theoretically we were to put the
Mm-hmm.
tank scene against the ranking of other Fast and Furious
Yeah.
finales,
Yes.
big showstoppers, what do you guys think? Do you think where would you place that one?
Okay, so I can read the list. So are we going with the tank? Seeing or are we
I
doing an experiment here?
Ooh.
Well, let me read the rankings and then we'll decide.
Yeah.
Okay, so in fifth place we have the second mine run in Fast Forward. That's the very last mine run.
I feel like
Uh,
that.
Number 4 is the garage scene from Fast 2. That is, and we base that basically on watching a bunch of cars choreograph almost seamlessly.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like when you
It's
think about just the technical feat, like
technically, yeah.
for all that.
Yes.
3, we did Shibuya Drift because it's one of the more, and it is still one of the more different like sequences. Um,
Yes.
in that it becomes action, but then they have a quiet moment as they're doing like an almost beautiful, like it really does highlight the beauty of a drive, like of a
Yeah.
drift. Number 2 is a safe chase because oh my god, dude, that shit's like Looney Tunes. It's
Yes.
awesome. It's crazy. And then number 1 is truck scene still from Fast 1 because that's like it's a nigh perfect action sequence.
I
And it has everything we want. It's the golden like standard.
mm,
So
mm,
if I had to do this, right?
yeah.
Here's where I would put the tank scene. I think I would put it at number 3. So I'd put it above Shibuya Drift.
Okay. Yeah.
I think. But I would
I
also put the plane sequence above Shibuya Drift.
Okay, so I was gonna say the exact same thing. I think
Yeah.
that either way, it ranks just above 3. It ranks at 3, just above the Shibuya Drift. I Whether we pick the plane or the tank, I think that the sub if we went with subway scene,
Uh-huh.
I might put subway just under Shibuya Drift. It would be the top 3 would be the same, and then it would maybe be like a fourth for me. But
Yeah.
let's discuss it.
Nick, where would you put it?
I mean, I'm kind of with you guys in regards to like putting the plane being above the Shibuya.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out where I put the tank.
Oh. So they're
Okay.
different for you.
Yeah,
So you like the plane one more than the tank.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm inclined to go with you guys then and
Yeah.
put the plane as our closer scene on the list then.
I'll tell you what. Let me suggest a compromise
Okay.
here, which I know kind of goes against what this list is supposed to be, which is fast. No, you know what? Let's stick with the fast. You know what? Fuck it. Let's commit the plane sequence.
Okay.
So we're going at number 3.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have to remember the spirit of this list, which is lists don't matter, but we're just going to do it off the top of our heads
Don't
every
look
time.
back.
Don't
Looking
look back.
back's for cowards.
Okay.
All right. So our new rankings, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. We have number 6, Second Mine Run
Mhm.
at for Fast 4. Number 5, the garage scene from Fast 2. Number 4,
Mhm.
Shibuya Drift in Fast 3. 3, the plane sequence in Fast 6. 2, the safe chase in Fast 5. And then number 1 still is Fast 1. The
Yeah,
truck scene. The whole truck scene at the end.
that whole thing.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, now the real shit. We have to decide what's where we putting Fast 6 at for our just as a movie.
Now
So at
you
number
guys
5.
have 5 ahead of it, both of you.
So that's a real question. Okay, but let me just do the current ranking for everyone.
Okay.
At number 5 we have Fast 4. At number 4 we have Fast 2. At number 3 we have Fast 5. At number 2 we have Fast 3. At number 1 we have Fast 1. Okay. So I agree with Ian. I think it's better than 4. Are we in agreement that it's better than 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I enjoyed it more than 2. 2 has some really fun bits in it, but yeah, dude, it is bogged down by like some just lackluster performances.
Yeah.
Roman really carries that thing like super hard. Tyrese Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better than Fast 5? Did you
It's
guys
damn
like it?
close.
Did you
I
guys like it more than Fast 5? Not even better. Did you like it more?
Yeah, probably so.
Ian's a yes. Nick.
Yeah, I think I like it a bit more.
All right, then we'll go with above Fast Five. Because I would be the only one that likes kind of Fast Five above it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it'll be above Fast Five. Is it better than Tokyo Drift? Did you like it more than Tokyo Drift?
Maybe so. I don't know.
Really?
I
Okay.
feel a little heretical saying it.
Okay, we're good.
Alrighty.
So, sorry about that, folks. Ran out of space. I will fix that for the next time. So where we were at was discussing the ranking for the Fast and Furious franchise. And the big question being now, do we like Fast Five more than Tokyo Drift? Ian says yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Mm.
Nick, I want to hear your opinion on this.
I think. Oh, this is tough. Because then it becomes like, I feel like it's a preference thing of the time,
I
Yeah.
feel like they're very different movies.
and it's a very different era.
Yeah, it's very different. We're same franchise, incredibly different feels, incredibly
I'll
different
I'll
vibes.
I'll throw out one thought here that I'm having because like
Yes.
Tokyo Drift is a character driven movie. It does
Yeah.
have like
Fish out of water.
plot
Yeah.
and thought,
Yeah.
and this Fast and Furious 6 is a movie that I think eliminates a lot of the issues that the other movies in the franchise have by saying we're not thinking that hard about plot anymore, guys. We're just
No,
doing
they're
stuff
done.
that seems fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not thinking about it in terms of definitely 1, 2, and 3, where they're doing like trying to do good movies that are
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
character driven and thoughtful and all that. Like,
Mhm.
so I guess that's kind of the distinction. Is I'm now starting to think of, okay, this franchise is about explosions and going fast and cars in America. Like,
Got it.
but I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give you mine.
Okay.
And Nick, I know this will help you decide and make it, or in fact, make it actually really hard. So now you have to choose.
Right.
Because I think I like Tokyo Drift still more.
Okay.
And I think, as you said, Nick, it comes down to what your preference is. Which, by the way, we're not going to take these lists like to heart or anything. We'll always have our own thing.
I will.
This is for This is
How dare you?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna hold it. Yeah.
Nick is weak. It must be dictated by numbers. And
Uh,
then, no, I'm gonna say I like Tokyo Drift more. So, for reasons that I would give, but we're running low on time. That's where I stand.
Mm.
Nick, you must decide. Does it go
Oh
past Tokyo
no.
Drift?
Oh.
You're
I
the
will
brave
let you know right
tiebreaker.
now. If it goes past Tokyo Drift, I am stopping it before 1. I will make sure that happens.
Mm, I think. Well, hang on. Hulk machine
Hulk
or
machine.
headbutt,
Flying headbutt.
flying headbutt. The I will say my favorite like car like crowd scene is still in Tokyo Drift. I just think that entire segment goes hard.
Okay.
Yeah. It, you know what? It might just have to be Tokyo Drift. I think because
All
I
right.
can't bring myself to bring it above. Yeah.
Ian, that's 2 against 1.
I respect it. I respect it.
the results as we agreed per the terms. So
For our
fast
contract.
Democracy.
democracy dies in the start. Fast 6 is our new number 3. Our current rankings are at number 5 we have Fast 4. At number 6 we have Fast 4.
Yeah.
At number 5 we have Fast 2. Number 4 is Fast 5. Number 3 is Fast 6. Number 2 is Tokyo Drift Fast 3. Number 1 is Fast and Furious Fast 1. Still, that is our current rankings, gentlemen.
Yep.
And we have, yes, I want to replace it. Fuck, jeez. And we have decided It is the true list of the Fast and Furious, and so it shall be decreed.
So it is
Anyway,
written, so shall it be.
so shall it be. We must go. So,
Yeah.
thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
This should I'm gonna put this up like tomorrow. If you're already listening to us, it's tomorrow. So, get ready for some more Fast and Furious as the year continues next month on the 15th. As for what the end of the month will be, we still haven't quite decided yet. Although it might be now that one movie.
Better luck tomorrow.
Better luck tomorrow. We'll see.
Maybe.
Anyway, bye. Thanks again for joining in, and I don't know. Stay cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Cars in America and God. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.